Hi, everybody. My name is Larry Nusbaum. Nusbaum means nut tree, so I'm a bit of a nut. I'm going to be making music. You're welcome to participate any way you want to. You can just listen, you can make sounds. I have the instruments of mass percussion here. Everybody's in the band. So this first song isn't really a song with words, it's just sounds, a chance to hum and get our hums together. Here it is. Hum with me. Sing with us, whoa. Everybody's in the choir. Listen to the angels sing now. For the people that you love, sing out. For this whole wide world, sing out.
Good morning. Many thanks to Larry, our guest musician, and you are allowed to hold on to your instruments of mass percussion. I believe he'll be invited to participate in music later on as well. Welcome back to your neighborhood Unitarian Universalist congregation this Sunday, beautiful fall morning. My name is Reverend Sally Fritchie. I'm delighted to serve as minister to this congregation. Whether you're here in person or one of our many online participants, know that this service is here for you. May you find in it something that you need. Our mission at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. For those in person, please remember to be aware of the various needs and boundaries of one another while we're gathered together, honoring our mask-required seating area and keeping aisles clear for mobility devices. We're a community of many ages and abilities, which means we embrace whatever little noises or distractions or jingle bells come along with being together. We are committed to a love that makes space for all. If you have a phone or other device that can be silenced, I invite you to do so now, unless your device is going to help you access and participate in the service. Know that our services are usually about 90 minutes long, so if there's anything that you need to be comfortable in this space during that time, sit, stand, stretch, move around, get a glass of water, please feel free to do so at any point. That includes going into the wiggle room just there, where you can hear and not be quite as heard. There's some toys and a comfy couch. Or going to the activity table for all ages, where we have art supplies and a kinetic sandbox. If you're new and would like us to keep in touch, please fill out a newcomer card with your contact information and leave it in the offering plate when we pass it around later in the service. Whoever you are, whatever your relationship to belief, to spirituality, to this community, we are glad you are here today. Today's service is an opportunity to be together and to rest for a moment amid the busyness of everyday life, to reflect on what nourishes us, body, mind, and spirit. So before we begin, let's take just a moment to remember that we are here together. We'll turn and greet those around us with a good morning, a smile, a nod, a bow, a handshake. After you've greeted or introduced yourself to a neighbor here, remember to turn to the camera and wave at those who are at a distance. For those of you online, feel free to unmute and say hello to your fellow viewers. And we'll ring our chime to bring us back together in just a minute. Thank you all. There will be ample time after the service during our fellowship hour to continue all these conversations. Old friends and new friends alike. I'm joined this morning by our wonderful service weaver, Moira MacDonald, who will now help us center, acknowledge where we are, and enter into a shared sacred space together.
Thank you, Sally. I'm going to have to get better on the chimes because you definitely did not hear that. I would like to acknowledge with gratitude the privilege of being on this land, the treaty lands and the territory of the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, specifically Treaty 13. This is also the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat and the Haudenosaunee peoples, and it has been and is home now to many other First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. May our search for truth and meaning include learning and acting on the true history of First Peoples of this land. So as you heard, my name is Moira MacDonald. I'm a member here, and I will be your service weaver this morning. Can we all start together by sanctifying this space and this moment with our presence, our attention, and our intention? So feel with me your feet on the ground. Feel with me the breath in your lungs and the fire in your heart. And feel the presence of your neighbors doing the same. Breathe in and breathe out. We have an invocation, and the words and the intentions, these are the words and the intentions that we begin every service with. Let's speak those now. They are on the screens around you. Let us cast the circle of a sacred space here. Let us cast the circle of a cherished space here, a space of safety, a place of forgiveness, a place of love, If we want the world to change, we must craft in our space and in ourselves the seeds that grow a different kind of life, a life of graciousness, of creative intelligence, a place of life and spirit for ourselves and our families. And I invite Keith De Silva up to light our chalice, please. As we light our chalice, we borrow from the children's flame. In this way, may we be inspired to keep the children's fire alive in our own hearts and be reminded that we do not inherit this earth, but we borrow it from our children and the generations to come. And join with me as we sing our chalice lighting song. We light this chalice to remember, to light the fire within our own hearts. And our centering music today will be offered by our guest, Larry.
Thanks. Beautiful. Centering is kind of like tuning. You got to keep doing it. Like eating, you don't eat once and for all. Carlos, can I get a little more treble in my voice? There we go. Give it up for Carlos. He takes care of us. Such a beautiful centering. I'm offering a song to you called Love. There's only one word in it, and it's love. Let's center in love. Love, oh love, oh love, oh love, sing that with me. Love, oh love, oh think of someone that you love, sing love to them. Oh, love, like you mean it. Oh, love. Oh, love. Someone who loves you, sing out love. Oh, love. Oh, love, oh, love. Think of someone that needs your love now, love. Oh, love, oh, love, oh, love. part of the world that needs your love. Sing out love. Oh, love. Oh, love. Oh, love. To your sweet self now. Love. Oh, love. Oh, love. Oh, love. To love itself. Love. Oh, love. Oh, love. Oh, love. Oh, love.
Thank you so much for that, Larry. You brought out all the feels. Oh. So yes, we thank Larry for being here this morning as our guest musician. He's here today while our music director, Suzanne Mazars, is on a month-long sabbatical. And we also would like to thank all the many staff and the volunteers who have come together to create this service and come together week after week to create the services that we share in together. We've changed how we let newcomers know about the different areas of our sanctuary and the ways that you can learn about us within it. We now post that information on a sheet that is out in our Cappuccino Lounge, so that's the area on the other side of the glass. And that explains about everything, so if you're curious, you can look at that after service or before the next one. But for now, welcome to everybody, whether you are newer here or you've been coming for a very long time, to everyone coming here to seek spiritual community as part of their life's journey. And I just wanted to let folks know there are instruments on the floor in front of Larry, as he said, instruments of mass percussion. You are welcome to come and pick one up at any time, but also if finding your way around the space is something that you really need to be sensitive to, there is a blanket with some things on it, so you might feel that as you're coming forward if that happens later on in the service. Our mission here at Neighborhood is to empower spiritual growth and shared action for the care of our world. And doesn't it need care? This month, our theme is the Unitarian Universalist principle number 4, and that is that we affirm and promote a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. It's a principle that I believe is frequently a big attraction for some people to Unitarian Universalism. Free search for truth and meaning. I think it might also give us a bit of a reputation for being flaky. With the idea that UUs can believe anything. For me, I've been coming here I have to always go by my son's age, and he was almost 2 when I was coming, and he is now 23, so we're coming on, 21 years, something like that. It's the most difficult of all the principles because it really requires something of you. It is active, it's not a passive principle, and it's full of uncertainty. There is a search, and we may not know where that is going, where we are going. And the responsibility for it is all mine, yours. But here in UU community, we don't have to do that alone. Thank goodness. Today, Reverend Sally will speak about some UU history, and she will explore the use of bread to bring spiritual seekers together, to share in something beyond our individual selves and everything that's going on up here. Because we really need each other for this journey, just as we need to hear one another's stories to inform our search for truth and meaning. To quote Rachel Naomi Remen from her book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, "Hidden in all stories is the one story. The more we listen, the clearer that story becomes. Our true identity, who we are, why we are here, what sustains us, is in this story."
I recently had a chance to speak to a group of UUs who are all training to become ministers. And I asked them about whether they went to church as kids, UU or otherwise, and what they remembered as their favorite part. And what do you think I heard about? Amazing sermons? You know? Fun lesson plans? I heard about snack time. Everyone remembered little Dixie cups of goldfish crackers and pretzels and apple juice and Christmas cookies. You know, memory is tricky, and being a kid is hungry work. And I'm not saying that church snacks are enough to turn all of us into future UU ministers, but the pattern exists. So today's service is going to include a special snack time for all ages, and it'll start with a classic song you may already know, which Larry will introduce for us.
It's a very serious song. And is it going to show up on the screen? Maybe. Yes. Oh, look at that. We got apples. We got bananas. Put your hand up if you love apples. Put your hand up if you love bananas. Put your hand up if you love to eat. This song is for you. You can't blow it. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. One more time. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. We're gonna do the A's. I like to eat apples and bananas. Yeah, you can dance. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. You got it. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. I like to eat apples and bananas. Oh, I like to apples and bananas. I like to apples and bananas. Woo! I like to apples and bananas. I like to apples and bananas. Get your kazoos out or use your mouth. Woo! Well done. We're well fed.
Thank you, Larry. That was so much fun. You can't help but having fun with that song. It just does that. So, whoa, really close. Let me just see if I can move this over a bit. And today, for the snack time for all ages, we're going to be doing a bread meditation. And if you feel like participating, and if you are on Zoom, feel free to join us. This is what you can do. You can go to your kitchen or wherever you keep your food, and you can get a piece of bread or any kind of morsel of some kind of a treat that you would like to have during this meditative time. And there are trays that are starting to make their rounds. Please feel free to take one and pass it along. Reverend Sally has gluten-free bread, if you are gluten-free, so maybe raise your hand to let her know. And then, yeah. And even though it might be very tempting, please try to refrain from eating the bread right now. Don't worry, you will eat it. It's nice fresh bread, so it's going to be tempting. You know, when I eat, I realized when I was preparing this activity, it made me think, because I realized that when I'm eating, I'm often not aware of what I'm eating. And then I finish my meal, and I don't really remember what it tasted like. It sort of went by in a blur. And also, I find that I'm actually preparing for my next mouthful of food before I'm even finished chewing, or my fork full of food. So mindful eating, doing mindful eating from time to time has been really good for me, because it slows me down and really gets me into the moment, and I'm not doing anything else other than the eating. And it helps me enjoy my food and also just be aware of the fact that I have food. So in a moment, we're going to put our pieces of bread into our mouths, and we're going to eat in silence so we can really concentrate on our food. And the Tibetan Buddhist monk, peace activist, Thich Nhat Hanh, who founded Plum Village, I love the way he put it. Don't put your projects into your mouths. Don't chew on your fear or your anger. Just be with the bread. And then, when you're really with that bread and thinking of that bread, then you can put it into your mouths. Are we ready? If you do want to participate. If not, you can just imagine doing this at some point. That was really good. I really tasted that. So I'm going to try to do that from time to time. I can't do that every time, but when I can. Thank you. Yep.
So I have a reading for you this morning. It is a poem by Canadian writer Margaret Atwood and published in 1978. It's titled, All Bread. The words will be up on the screen, but I also invite you to consider just closing your eyes and experiencing the words, the poem, while your mind's eye follows along with the images in Margaret Atwood's writing. All bread is made of wood, cow dung, packed brown moss, the bodies of dead animals, the teeth and backbones, what is left after the ravens, This dirt flows through the stems into the grain, into the arm, 9 strokes of the axe, skin from a tree. Good water, which is the first gift, 4 hours. Live burial under a moist cloth, a silver dish, the row of white famine bellies, swollen and taut in the oven, lungfuls of warm breath stopped in the heat from an old sun. Good bread has the salt taste of your hands after 9 strokes of the axe, the salt taste of your mouth. It smells of its own small death, of the deaths before and after. Lift these ashes into your mouth, your blood. To know what you devour is to consecrate it, almost. All bread must be broken so it can be shared. Together, we eat this earth.
There is a magic to baking, I think. It can transport us to a different time. It can take an ordinary kitchen, an ordinary day, and turn it into a holy space, a hushed cathedral of deep inhalations and quiet anticipation. If you are a baker, or if you've been on the receiving end of a baker's magic, then you know already something of what I speak. The miraculous interplay of air and heat and dough, the familiar smells, the crunch of crust or smear of butter, the undeniable rush of memory attached to a grandmother's biscuit recipe, a grandfather's stollen, a mother's chapati, a friend's sourdough. Why speak of bread, of all topics, in these troubling times? Something so small, prosaic, ordinary, when there are vast, world-shaking events happening all around us. In our free and responsible search for truth, for meaning, for wisdom, we often are tempted to look far afield, seeking grand theories and novel experiences. I believe that we must also look at what is right beside us, the habits and objects we take for granted, to learn old truths that might sustain us through whatever comes next, as it has sustained those who came before us. Bread, in one form or another, corn and wheat and rice and barley, has been one of the principal forms of food for humans since our earliest settled civilization. Loaves and rolls have been found in ancient Egyptian tombs, made from grain that ripened on the sunny banks of the Nile over 5,000 years ago and laid to rest for the journey to the next world. It's time we admit that bread can be so much more to us than just an everyday source of bodily nourishment. It can be a blessing. It can be holy. Bread, both leavened and unleavened, is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament many times. Unleavened bread eaten at Passover is a symbolic reminder of past hardships for the Jewish people. Bread broken in communion is, for Christians, the very presence of God on earth. And many families of all faiths have their own specific heritage and traditions around bread. In my family, it was Christmas cinnamon rolls that were made the night before and stored in the cold garage to prove overnight, then brought in with great ceremony to be baked and eaten after opening our stockings full of gifts. Let yourself think for a moment. Is there some consecrated loaf in your own family? What memories arise at the color and smell of fresh baked goods, steamed buns, hot tortillas, corn cakes, naan, pita? We eat bread because we're hungry, but also because making and smelling and tasting it reminds us of those who first taught us to love it, reminds us that we are still connected to them. So we find ways to mark celebrations and gatherings across the years with mixing and kneading and baking and sharing. Even without the ritual of Passover or communion, bread has a way of connecting us to something bigger, to our ancestors, our culture, our earth. As Margaret Atwood wrote, to know what you devour is to consecrate it. And all bread must be broken so it can be shared. And together we eat this earth. When I was serving as a hospital chaplain in Boston, 2 of my Jewish colleagues began bringing challah to the spiritual care office every Friday. Challah, the golden, eggy bread often shared at Sabbath gatherings, is usually served in this magnificent braided loaf. You've probably seen it. But our hospital challah was a store-bought bag of these tiny little rolls, easy to grab and eat in 2 or 3 bites. So I got into the habit of checking my charts for Jewish patients every Friday and showing up for my rounds with a couple of individually packaged challah rolls in my pocket. And the reactions I got when I offered them were unforgettable. Usually surprise, like, oh, unexpected, followed by a kind of softening around the edges. People would tell me stories about the challah their mother made, or about how long it had been since they celebrated the Sabbath at all and how they felt about that. They would talk around mouthfuls of bread, or sometimes just hold it to their nose and breathe it in, or set it reverently on the tray, saving for later. The clean, hard surfaces of the hospital, the antiseptic smells, and cool color scheme can make it feel very hard to be human while you're in there. And those little rolls were a small, soft, golden interruption, a reminder of what life looks like and smells like and tastes like outside of those confining walls. And of course, I wasn't the only chaplain distributing bread in that hospital. One of the main things that my Christian colleagues did was bring communion, bread and wine, in these tiny little plastic medicine cups to patients who were longing for connection to that familiar ritual. And it's that tradition of Christian communion, in fact, that first inspired me to reflect on how something as simple as bread, the baking and eating and sharing of it, has come to be so entangled in many human ritual practices, so imbued with spiritual meaning beyond just yeast and flour and water. The biblical story of the Last Supper, which led to the practice of communion, shows up a few different places in the Christian New Testament. The story, as Paul tells it in his first letter to the Corinthians, goes like this. The Lord Jesus, on the night when he was betrayed, took a loaf of bread, and when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, "This is my body that is for you. Do this in remembrance of me." In the same way, he took the cup also after supper, saying, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Do this as often as you drink it in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you proclaim the Lord's death until he comes again." And this story Paul tells here is in the context of a new religious movement, a story of a man who is known to speak in riddles and metaphor, about to be condemned to death, who asks his friends to remember him, to continue on the path they'd started together. There's a brand new faith community barely holding it together in small enclaves scattered through the Roman Empire. It's a story told looking for unifying threads of belief and practice that might tie these communities together into something that will eventually be called Christianity. And no matter my own non-Christian faith background and my atheological beliefs, there is something powerful still about knowing that this Lord's Supper became a practice that was carried forward to this very day by followers of the religion that grew out of those stories. And I know that many of you here will have had your own experiences with Christian communion, for good or ill. You no doubt have your own stories about how it can be sometimes a meaningful bond to something greater, sometimes a tool for excluding so-called sinners or those who are different, sometimes just an opaque and confusing ritual that maybe you never felt truly welcomed into. And your experiences are also part of this story. The idea that there's some singular, clear, unified Christian practice called communion, not accurate. Never has been. Historically, it's been all over the place, unifying sometimes, divisive sometimes, both an unknowable mystery and a simple remembrance meal of bread and wine. There are some Unitarian Universalist congregations who celebrate communion in a pretty traditional sense, with consecrated bread and wine in remembrance of the life of Jesus of Nazareth, but it isn't typical among us. And we at Neighborhood observe our water communion, but leave it at that, no bread and wine. You may be interested to know that our Unitarian and Universalist forebearers had their own conflicts and controversies over the practice. Ralph Waldo Emerson, a Unitarian minister and prominent transcendentalist, actually left the ministry over this exact issue. The last sermon he preached as minister to his Boston congregation in 1832 was titled The Lord's Supper, and it laid out his many objections to the practice of breaking bread in worship. He felt that breaking bread and sharing wine is a holdover from the, quote, primitive local customs of Jesus' time, a ritual for ritual's sake. Emerson preached this sermon to his congregation, announced he would no longer be able to provide them with communion, and they asked him to leave. They called a different minister. And as for Universalists, influential 18th century Universalist thinker Judith Sargent Murray wrote a catechism to educate young children in theology and said the tradition of taking communion, quote, seems entirely a mode of human invention of which no trace is to be found in sacred writ. When asked how a good Universalist ought to react to being offered communion, she responded, wherever he beholds bread and wine, he will receive it with thankful gratitude. He will adore the grace contained therein. In other words, bread and wine is a blessing enough. No need to make it something mystical. Our UU tradition's current relationship or non-relationship to communion practices is thanks in part to those early rejections, those Unitarian and Universalist believers who saw the Lord's Supper as being used mostly to maintain old systems of authority and thought the solution was to discard it entirely. But it's worth noting that even after his erudite argument against the practice of breaking bread, the congregation Emerson served still would not stop taking communion. They would rather give up a powerful preacher and leader than give up the continuity of their beloved embodied practice. Emerson and Sargent Murray had the idea that a ritual that is human invented rather than scripturally ordained should therefore not be observed. And I'm afraid I disagree. Human invented rituals are themselves powerful because humans make them powerful. Think about the memories of family bread practices invoked earlier. Are those traditions passed down through generations less valuable because they are merely human in origin? Think about the cold hospital made warmer and softer by a mouthful of soft challah. Bread is something that exists not in text, not in mind, but in body, in our hands, in our mouths, in our bellies. Bread is memory, magic, culture, and ancestry. Simple ingredients transformed into warm and golden nourishment. And the different recipes and traditions mark the turning of the year with cinnamon and lemon and pumpkin spice. What if our path forward isn't to discard the legacy of the Lord's Supper as our forebears did, but to rediscover it, to expand it, to make it wider until it includes all who would like to find a seat at the table of holy connection, all who would like to take and eat in remembrance of humanity's ancient roots and long ago struggles? What would our Holy Communion look like? Here in this room, what would our communion look like? A ritual of sharing bread, which has the potential for being so deeply unifying and generous and nourishing, has instead been too often used to define who is in and who is out, who believes correctly, who belongs, who's invited to the table, and who's barred from it. We haven't even begun to address the ways in which the literal lack of bread, food insecurity, famine, starvation, echoes this spiritual pattern of exclusion and withholding. In a globally connected world, all famines are man-made. The earth itself is abundant. We know this. There are more than enough edible calories on this planet to feed every single one of us. If a person starves, It's because their fellow humans decided that other matters were more important than feeding them. It's not lost on me that this past week, a flotilla of boats was stopped by Israeli military blockades from bringing bread and other aid to Palestinians. It's not lost on me that even as we reflect this morning on the value and warmth and joy of being able to share this bread together, there are people there in Gaza, in Sudan, in Haiti, and just down the street in desperate need, for whom even these small mouthfuls are out of reach. So what would our communion look like? The words of a sermon are nothing compared to the solid physical presence of wheat or rice or corn or spelt in your hand. When we take and eat and share, we let the bread preach in its own language. And what does it tell us? So much more than a symbolic reminder of just one man's life or one faith's story. So a neighborhood communion will likely never look like priestly vestments and high ritual up here, but it might look like warm rolls passed hand to hand out there. It might look like the free sack lunches volunteers hand out on the sidewalk here over the summer. It might look like a potluck meal or a lesson in foraging. It might look like bread broken among multi-faith neighbors, finding what we all have in common. We are human beings in human bodies, in all our frailty and strength, eating and breathing and living, just as every human before us. We are nourished just as those ancient Egyptians were, just as Emerson was, and Paul and Moses, all the way back to those earliest unsung alchemists of grain and water and fire who made all of this possible. So next time we encounter an opportunity to break bread, it's my hope we will see the miracle of it, made from earth and water, warmed by fire, that we'll notice the bubbles of air, the flake of crumbs, the texture and smell, breathe it in, and let into our awareness our own gratitude for all that gives us life and sustains us, and our obligation to pass that blessing along. Consider this an open invitation to a shared table with one more seat open, always ready to welcome in the next visitor. Come, find your place here, and we will break bread together. We will continue to find ways to be, continue to take and eat, and remember what brought us here and what will carry us through. May every single one of us leave today's service full with the truths that can be found in ordinary places, and with the knowledge that we are deeply connected to a legacy that shapes us, to a planet that sustains us, and always, always to one another. Amen, and blessed be.
That was delicious. As Shakespeare said, if music be the food of life, play on. Again, we're all in the band. My root system is from that archaic tribe in the desert. Lots of challahs. And bread symbolizes a feast. We're going to eat. You don't just eat bread, but it opens the door. And I love what you said about the table, welcoming. That's the best of all traditions, when there's room at the table. And unfortunately, that's the worst of all traditions, when there's no room at the table. What I love about this community is that there's room for everyone at the table. So when I got the opportunity to play music and think, songs usually come to me. And so this song came to me, and it'll be the first time I've ever sung it through with you, so you're in it. So you don't leave me alone here, okay? You're going to join me with the chorus, okay? So, maybe I need need to make a spectacle of myself to see my own lyrics here. Let me hear your instruments. That's it. I'll bring the bread, you bring the soup. No, I got it wrong. Oh, let's take it from the top. I'll bring the soup, you bring the bread. Let's get together so everyone's fed. I can bring my people, you can bring yours. Let's set up the tables and open the doors. She's bringing veggies, he's bringing juice. A monkey, a pigeon, a cat, and a moose. Now everyone's welcome, here everyone eats. Come as you are to the feast. Here's the chorus. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Sing that again with me. Oh, oh, come to the feast. One more time. Free. Come with your chickens, come with your fishes. We'll cook them together, then we'll all do the dishes. Bring your ideas, and I will bring mine. We'll each get to listen, we'll each get our time. Sometimes we'll agree, sometimes we won't. But we all gotta eat, we all get a vote. Now, come with your family, come with your friends, come with your enemies, and let's make amends. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Sing it. Oh, oh, come to the feast. For your family and friends. Oh, come to the feast. Everyone's welcome and everyone's free. Come with your passion, come with your pain, come with your love and tell us your name. You might be shy, you might be scared, you might be hurt, 'cause life isn't fair. Now reach out your hand and lift up your bowl. We'll fill it with love. If you're young or you're old, you may have plenty and you may have not. Come as you are to the feast. Sing it. Oh, oh, come to the feast for the whole world. Sing it. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Say it. Oh, come to the feast. Everyone's welcome and everyone's free. Now give what you can, take what you need. Sometimes we're so thirsty, sometimes we all bleed. Now come if you're lonely, and come if you're sad. Come if you're happy, and even come if you're mad. Come tired and hungry, you've come so far. Come as you are to sing out. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Oh, come to the feast. Everyone's welcome and everyone's free. Now Bring all your mamas, bring all your dads, your siblings and cousins, your uncles and aunts. Bring all your grandkids and grandparents too, your pets, your kids, and your dancing shoes. The stars are all welcome, so are the frogs. The trees are invited, now even the hogs. Bring a bowl of forgiveness, a hug, and a laugh. You can leave if you want to, but you can always come back. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Sing in harmony, bad harmony. Oh, oh, come to the feast. Yeah. Oh, come to the feast. Everyone's welcome, everyone's free. Sing. Oh, come to the feast. Oh, come to the feast. Oh, come to the feast. Everyone's welcome and everyone's free. Thank you for the sonic potluck we just did.
I invite you all to join me in centering yourself, quieting your mind, hearing in these words the prayers of our community. We dwell in gratitude and in hope. We give thanks for the joys our community has been blessed with. The hope of new beginnings, of growth, love, the accomplishment of completing long journeys, the clarity to know when it's time to leave a situation that isn't good for us, the wisdom of those all around us, the love that they offer. And we hold hope that our sorrows will not always be as piercing as they are today. May we find the strength that we need to survive. May healing come to all those who most need it. And when healing is not possible, may peace surround and uplift each and every being. Today we strive for renewed connection between everyone here and far beyond these walls. May we keep our hearts tender and know that our grief is love for the world, that it does us credit to be hurt by all that happens around us. May all be made whole. May justice be done in all things. I invite you to breathe and hear these words adapted from a prayer written by UU minister, Reverend Mark Bellatini. This prayer ends with silence, 3 deep breaths, after which Larry will help bring us back from our reflections and reveries, and then we'll lead into singing together. This is a communion prayer for the earth. One planet, round, global, so that when you trace its shape with your finger, you end up where you started. It's one, it's whole. The grain that grows on one side of the border tastes just as good as the grain on the other side. Bread made from rice is just as nourishing to body and spirit as bread made from corn, or spelt, or teff, or wheat, or barley. There is one earth we all share,
we the living with all else that lives and does not live. Everything for good or ill is part of the shared whole. Sky, earth, song, these words, and now this silence. Amen.
So we're going to do a song that we have done before here at Neighborhood. And it's called From You I Receive. So some of you, I think, will know it. Larry and I are going to work together on this. So I'm going to go over the lyrics with you, but there's also hand gestures that you could do if you wanted to do those. And you might feel compelled to, because it is talking about from you I receive, and to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. So I will sing the first line, and then maybe you can sing it back to me. From you I receive, from you I receive, to you I give, to you I give, together we share. Put your hands together. Together we share, and from this we live. And you can put a fist on top of another fist. I know there's other gestures, but we'll do these ones. Okay. Let's try it one more time together. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. You have totally got it. Congratulations. I am going to invite everybody, if you're willing and you feel like it, to stand. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do this song 4 times. And the first 2 times we're just going to do it together, just the way we've done it. But then the 3rd time, I'm going to, roughly divide the room down this center here. And if this group will turn and face that group, and if that group will turn and face this group, you can sing the song to each other the 3rd time. Is that okay? Got that? And then the last time, we're going to turn and we will sing it to the Zoomers out there. The miracle of technology. So, does this sound good? We can do that? All right. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. This is the 2nd time. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. And now we're going to turn and face our neighbor. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. And to the camera that's on top of the clock. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, Larry. So in the same spirit as our song, it's time for our offering. We give in many different ways here at Neighborhood. You can do an e-transfer. Some of us do pre-authorized withdrawals that are set up through our office. You can contribute through the baskets that will be circulated. And any way that you contribute, we thank you very much. If you are doing that in the basket, please mark your name on the envelope, because that way we can track your contribution for tax receipt purposes and if you're making an annual pledge. And just like the song, we receive back from this giving through the work of our staff, through the programs that we offer, the space where we come together here. And I see that the greeters are, or greeter is distributing the basket, and you can bring that up when you're ready.
Thank you. As the basket is passed, let me share with you some of the many, many ways you can further connect with our community here at Neighborhood and the life of the community. First, next Sunday, October 12th, I will be speaking again. Our service will be on the Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address for the Thanksgiving holiday coming up. We'll have the Spirit Choir singing with us, so you won't want to miss it. Artists, calling all artists. There will be a neighborhood show here, a group mixed media show. The premise is using fiber, thread, and yarn as a metaphor for how we navigate the world around us. Submissions of 5 to 10 JPEGs can be sent to Lauren McKinley. The deadline is October 15th. Lauren is right here in all orange if you want to talk to her after the service about that. There will be sacred circle dancing here on Saturday, October 18th. No experience necessary. Bring a clean pair of non-street shoes or dance in your socks. That'll be right here in Raycliffe Hall. Coming up after our service on October 19th, you can learn about what's going on with Neighborhood's investments. We are a congregationally funded and run organization, which means that you have a vote and you have a say, and you want to be knowledgeable before casting that vote. So if you're interested in our finances, stick around. There will be pizza lunch and a presentation about all of your money and where it's going. Are you stressed out by the prospect of having the sex talk with your kids? Not sure how to provide age-appropriate information to answer their questions? We want to help you. We'll be running an Our Whole Lives class for grades 4 through 6 this year, one Sunday a month from November through June, and a parent info session with pizza and childcare provided will be happening on Sunday, October 19th. We are having a special guest speaker coming. The author of the No Good Card for This book, that is the inspiration of a small group I'm leading this year, is going to visit us over Zoom and offer a 90-minute workshop on the empathy menu. So save the date. That'll be 7 p.m. on October 21st. We're looking for volunteers. Speaking of breaking bread, if you can bake a dessert once a month over the winter, or you can help make and serve breakfast one Saturday morning per month, Neighborhood provides volunteer support for the Danforth Multi-Faith Commons Out of the Cold shelter for unhoused and food insecure neighbors. Speak with Nancy or Laura, who I will point to now because they're going to wave. There they are. Thank you. And do you have HR or management experience? Our Human Resources Committee needs you. That helps with hiring, staff support, pay recommendations, a very important arm of congregational life. If that could be you, talk to Tony, our president. And of course, check out the Cappuccino Room screen for more information.
There's always more going on here than we can possibly fit into a Sunday service. So stay tuned and check your Friday email for all the ways you can get involved here. Finally, today, this is our final one because we're headed to it this afternoon. Today, there's going to be a multi-faith walk. It's going to be us, Easton United, Danforth Jewish Circle, Medina Masjid, Danforth Islamic Center, Pakistani Community Center, and I just learned also Metropolitan Community Church will be there. We'll meet up at 2 p.m. in Withrow Park, have a few words from the various faith leaders, including me, and then we'll all walk together. We're actually going to walk just past neighborhood to a sukkot in a neighbor's backyard where we'll break bread together and celebrate our multi-faith neighborhood. So I hope you all can make it. It's going to be a really wonderful time, beautiful afternoon for it. Larry will be there too. I think that's our last one. Oh, right. So this next song we have, we chose because it's going to feature in our multi-faith walk as well. So if you like the sound of it, make sure you show up this afternoon. You'll get to sing it again.
Sally and Moira for making it so beautiful. Let's give it up for Reverend Sally and Moira. Good people here. This is a song called One People. It's another way of saying we're all at the feast, we're all invited. And from my root system, the tangled and the beautiful parts of my root system, I got to play this song at the wedding of a Palestinian woman and a Jewish man. The Jewish man is my cousin. My mother's born in Israel. My heart is broken. What is happening in Gaza? So deep inside, I believe in our hearts that we believe and we want to believe that we are one people, one planet, one world. So please sing this for yourself, for whoever needs it, the best way you can. Here goes. That's right. I need you. Is dancing allowed in here? Are you allowed to stand up? Is that all right? If you can, if you want to. Sitting down's fine too. We've been taught to fear our different ways of being, different ways to work, this ways of seeing. It's time we realize there's so much more the same deep inside, because we're one people, one planet, sing it. One people, one planet, one world. One planet, one world. Yes, it's true that we're one people, one planet, one people, one planet, one world. One planet, one world. Yeah, da da da. Yeah, da da da. We got different points of view, there is no doubt. Nice. Different ways to work the same things out. But we got one sun, one moon, one earth below. I got one heart in my chest that beats the same as yours, because we're one people, one planet again, one people, one planet, one world, yeah. One planet, one world. Yes, it's true that we're one people, one planet, nice, one people, one planet, one world, with different points of view. How about you? How about you? What's it like to be you in there? What's it like to be you? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sing your voice out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na na na, na 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 na. We're like different leaves on the same tree. We're like different kids born into the same big family. And I thank God we're not all the same. Come on, look beyond your eyes and you might say, that we're one people, one planet, one people, one planet, one world, one planet, one world. You sound awesome. Yeah, for the whole world. Yeah, we're one people, one planet, one people, one planet, one world, one planet, one world. Yeah, we're one people, one planet, one people, one planet, one world, one planet, one world. We keep singing that last line. One planet, one world, one planet, one world. Yeah, yeah, one planet, one world, one planet, one world, one planet, one world, one planet, one world. Thank you.
Wow, we rock. I would like to invite Keith up to extinguish our chalice, please. And as he does that, we will sing our chalice extinguishing song. Although our chalice has been darkened, we hold the fire within our own hearts.
I invite you to connect with your neighbors. You might grab a hand, bump an elbow, or just stand holding your own hand if you'd rather not touch hands this morning for our closing blessing. All of us came here this morning hungry for something. It is my hope that we leave a little more full than when we arrived. It is a fact that 2 loaves of bread came in this morning that are leaving in 60 different bellies. May each of us take that thing that we are carrying with us from this space and bring it out into the world, into our separate lives. May the love and warmth and nourishment of this community ripple outward and feed every part of the world that we touch. Amen, and blessed be.